The BFG by Rodal, Chapter 1. This is the second video. So let's start with a small review. Question: what are the two possible meanings for lie? Answer: you can lie as not to tell the truth, or you can lie not standing, let's put it this way. Question: what are the pasts of those two verbs? Answer: the pasts are lay as not standing and lied as not telling the truth. Question: where do I have a gap? Answer: I have a gap right between my two front teeth. Alright? Question. It's a hard question. It's a challenge for you. Imagine you are fishing. You are fishing, right? And the line, here's your boat, the line is here in the water. My question is, what can the slant of the line tell you? Answer: the slant of the line, of course you are pausing when I say answer, okay, and trying to answer. The slant of the line can tell you how deep the fish is in the water, because if the slant is like this, not so steep, then the fish is close to the surface. If the slant is like this, then the fish is very deep in the water. Question. I was watching a movie and then I slept. My question is, what is a better way to say this? Answer: well, a better way to say this is, I was watching a movie and then I fell asleep, or I dozed off. Right? Nice. Question: what can you do when you buy a loaf of bread? You know, that kind of bread that is big like this. What can you do? Of course, think about vocabulary we studied. Answer: you can slice the loaf of bread with a knife. Question: what part of the knife shouldn't you hold when you are cutting something? Answer: you shouldn't hold the blade, of course, right? It wouldn't be so smart to do that. Very nice. Question: because there was no wind, the ship was stopped for 2 hours. What is a better way to say this sentence? Answer: because there was no wind, the ship was still for 2 hours. Question: you live in an apartment and your upstairs neighbor is very annoying and he's making a lot of noise. Probably what kind of noise is he making? At least one very important kind of noise. Answer: well, you can hear the footsteps, so you can hear footstep noise. Question: in what kind of situation should you receive a person with arms wide open? Answer: in all kinds of situations you should always be open and kind to everybody. Alright, that's not the point. Question: a tiny cake is good or bad? Is a tiny cake good or bad? Answer: of course it's bad, right? A tiny cake is like this. What would I do with a tiny cake, right? I want a huge cake. Right? Nice. Question: tell me what perhaps you will do today. Answer: perhaps, for example in my case, perhaps I will watch a movie. Perhaps, I still don't know. Very nice. So let's continue our reading. The witching hour, someone had once whispered to her, was a special moment in the middle of the night when every child and every grown-up was in a deep, deep sleep, and all the dark things came out from their hiding and had the world to themselves. Well, Sophie didn't read the story, correct? Somebody whispered to her. So when you whisper, you speak like this. I don't know if you can hear because of the sound of the camera, right? But there's a definition of whisper that I really like. Whisper is not about how high, is the volume of your voice. Whisper has to do with not vibrating the vocal folds. Okay? So if you couldn't understand, sorry, I was whispering for a long time, right? So somebody whispered to her. Question, what is another way for grown up? Answer? Well, another way for grown up is adult, right? If you're an adult. Well, remember that Sophie was sleeping very hard, all right? Quote unquote, because we say she was sleeping very deeply, right? I mean, she wasn't sleeping very deeply. I mean, when the witching hour is when everybody is sleeping deeply, right? Keep in mind that usually the dark things don't reveal themselves. The dark things hide, all right? When people, children and grown-ups are awake, the dark things are hiding, okay? Maybe under your bed. Maybe, maybe there is a part in your closet that you don't usually open, or it's too low or too high in your closet. And sometimes the dark things are small like this, and maybe they are in a corner just waiting for you to sleep, to fall asleep and then go into deep sleep. And when you are in very deep sleep, and your family is in very deep sleep too, the dark things will come out from their hiding places. They will come out from under your bed. They will come out from that dark part of your closet. They will come out from, I don't know, a box you have, or from behind the door. And they'll have the world for themselves. You got the point, right? Very nice. Remember, there is a game called hide and seek. One person will hide and the other person will try to look for that first one. Okay, so let's continue. The witching hour, somebody had once whispered to her, was a special moment in the middle of the night when every child and every grown-up was in a deep, deep sleep. And all the dark things came out from hiding and had the world to themselves. The moonbeam was brighter than ever on Sophie's pillow. She decided to get out of bed and close the gap in the curtains. You got punished if you were caught out of bed after lights out. Even if you said you had to go to the lavatory, there was not accepted as an excuse, and they punished you just the same. But there was no one about. Now, Sophie was sure of that. Well, brighter, of course, we know that is the comparative for bright. Bright, we don't say more bright, we say brighter, right? Well, she decided to go there and close the gap. You got punished if you were caught. If people caught you, so the action is catch, right? But in the past, if people caught you, then you would be punished. My question is, why were in the past caught and got punished and not in the present? Answer. Because it's a hypothetical situation, okay? This is second conditional. If you have problems understanding that, just comment, I'll send you another video I'll show you another video to practice second conditional, right? So if, imagining a hypothetical situation, you got punished, no, sorry, you got caught, people caught you out of bed, then they would punish you. Remember that in this place where they are, there is a moment they call lights out. Of course, the name says it, right? So the lights out, they would turn all of the lights out. You know, like turn off the lights are out, right? So my question is, have you changed your mind on where Sophie is? Answer. Well, we still don't know exactly, so let's see. Keep in mind that lavatory, I think British people say like that, lavatory is a British way of saying bathroom, right? Even, what kind of place is this? Even if you went out of your bed because you wanted to go to the bathroom, they would punish you if they caught you. I don't know. Keep in mind that now no one is about. About is another way to say around. No one is around, so Sophie is going to risk it, right? She's going to get out of bed. So let me read this part one more time. The moonbeam was brighter than ever on Sophie's pillow. She decided to get out of bed and close the gap in the curtains. You got punished if you were caught out of bed after lights out, even if you said you had to go to the lavatory. There was no accepted as an excuse, and they punished you just the same. But there was no one about now. Sophie was sure of that. So, let me see if I have time. No, I will continue in the next video.